Wow. I mean, what an incredible college lacrosse game. Tip the cap to James Madison, defending national champs. So much respect for them coming into the game, and the respect that we have for what they did last year. In a lot of ways, they kind of, did something for the mid-majors that was kind of set that tone and that expectation. For us, this was a great win. I don't think it looked great at half. I think we then went down by 3 at one point, but I thought we showed resiliency. In a lot of ways, that game was a microcosm of our season, where we got off to a tough start. Everything we did kind of blew up in our faces, but we weathered the storm, weathered the punches, and steadied the ship, and were able to kind of find our way and just kind of get back to our identity, which was playing really good defense against a smart, patient offense, and then being able to execute properly versus their zone. So super proud of our kids. I think this time of the year people get so hung up on wins and losses, and they don't realize the amount of time you spend with the student athletes. For me, it's another couple days guaranteed. It's another game on our schedule. And this is the time of year where you win one and you earn one, and you get more time, with your seniors. This season has been one of the more, they all have their own stories, right? I mean, every season's got its own story, but this is a season where I don't think a lot of people looked at us with the same respect that we maybe had the last couple of years, and honestly, rightfully so. We graduated, hundreds of goals and hundreds of assists, and we kind of didn't have an identity, and I'm not sure people really knew some of our transfers that came in, and I'm certain that I'm not sure everybody knew how good Allie Kennedy is. So I think she showed, the ability to take a game over, strap a team to her back throughout times, most of the season, almost every game. And she's a special player, a player who, I was kind of surprised she wasn't listed, in the final 5 of the Tuarton, but that's something that maybe our record needs to be better, but those are things you can't control. I'm just, this is a special win just because of the path this team has taken this season, the resiliency they've shown, and the ability to stick by each other when, our bar has been high. We hadn't lost one regular season game in almost 2 years, and then we lost 4 right out of the gates. We were 3-4, and myself included didn't know how to really deal with that well. But we, credit to our leadership and our captains for getting us on track and keeping us there.
Coming out of the timeout, we didn't really have a set play. It was more like, we're going to look for this and, move the ball the way that we know how to move it, clear out, cut through. And it just wound up that I was the one that was open. Great pass from Reina, great movement from everybody else on offense. And great draw control from Allie to get us the ball in the first place. But I actually was I wasn't at the JMU BC game, but I was at the Maryland BC game because my little sister's on Maryland. So on top of the fact that this is a great win, after scoring, the first thing that went through my mind was I get another day with my teammates. I actually broke down crying just because of how excited I was that, as great as it is to win, it's even better to know that I have another day to practice, another day to play, to suit up in the Stony Brook uniform, and then, to go against my little sister. It's just that much better.
It's going to be unreal. It's going to be a tremendous, venue to play at. The stadium's awesome, but I'm really excited to get another go at Maryland. Since we felt them my freshman year, I'm so excited to go out and play them again.
It's great for the sport. People, you talk about, and we've been in the top 10 for the last 4 or 5 years. This was a year where we kind of stepped out of the top 10, you get in Maryland. To me, when I took over this program, they're the gold standard in our sport. They are. Everything Kathy's done here, who's, has been able to keep Maryland talent home and to get a winning tradition and make people want to stay home and win championships at home is everything that I've tried to model our program. So, when I look at what we've built at Stony Brook, who's, not a Power 5, obviously, and we've been able to build ourselves into, a national power. We've been in the top 20 for the 7 years that I've been in Stony Brook. So, but we have kids that buy into that, maybe kids that come to our program with more questions than answers. kids that are not in the top 100 recruits in the country, but emerge and then turn into one of the top, players in the country, which is, it's homemade, which makes it so much better, right? I mean, you could go buy a burger at McDonald's, or you could go, go to a different kind of, homemade place. There's value to that. There's so much. That's kind of, I've been a Long Island guy most of my life, and to get kids to stay home and to believe in something, and now to start to get some kids from out of state to believe in what we're building. We have kids that are all in, and kids that are dangerous to play against because they play with such passion and heart. Which honestly, those are the only things that we preach. Like even coming out, she said in the overtime, we're not set play. We're not robotic. The number one rule we have on offense is no thinking. Just to play free and play off each other. So, we were actually relaxed in the huddle. I actually told them when whoever scores, you drop your stick. Everybody else, no one leave the bench. Like we tried to calm them down and kind of get them to play free. And how great was their goalie? I mean. When you play against a zone like that and then your goalie's making those type of saves, the tendency is to white knuckle your stick, and playing against a zone like that, when you're white knuckling your stick, it becomes even tougher. I think that's when we kind of went through that lapse in that first half into the early second half. So she's an outstanding goalie, a great kid too. I know her, off the field with Team USA. She was incredible today. She was incredible, 11, right? I mean, she was everywhere. I mean, she's all over the stat sheet, a beautiful behind the back goal. I mean, what a game she had. And we lost a lot of pivotal draws where it would have put us in a position maybe where we would have had the lead and just ran the clock out. But I think it came down to winning that one draw at the end. We were able to get the ball, and we talked about if we had early numbers, we'd push it. But if not, we would settle down and call it TO. But, they worked us. It was 15-6. They had 9 extra possessions. So in a one-goal game, it speaks volumes for our defense and our goalies. But when we needed a draw, our unit stepped up, and they won the big draw at the end. And our assistant Kim, I had called them over before overtime to kind of settle them down. It just comes down to one. It comes down to one possession, get the ball. And last year we got our hearts broken against BC. We won that draw at overtime. We settled down, called timeout, didn't work out. And you lose. So this was a situation where we won the important one and then executed. On the offensive end, pretty good job. So what we did was we knew we weren't going to be a home seed, right? Before the bracket came out. We won our championship on Saturday. We knew we'd get in. It was just a matter of where we get placed. So what we did is we did a pre-scout on who we thought would be in the top 5 seeds. Figured we'd go to one of the top 5, and then looked like we knew we weren't going to probably go to Midwest, but we got maybe Princeton. We had played them already, so we had a good idea. So instead of wasting time waiting for the bracket to come out, we kind of got ahead of it. So we put scouts together on Maryland, UNC, which we knew we weren't going there due to New York State stuff and stuff that we don't control. Cuse, those teams. So we kind of put them together. And the nice thing as well is, if there's probably a team that I've watched the most, is Maryland. They're always on TV. That's great, right? It's the best team in the country, and they're on TV all the time. So, you get to, my DVR at home is set to any lacrosse we record. So we have all those games set up there. But, so we had pre-scouts on all those teams. Listen, you're not going to, this is going to come down to us having to play really well. They're rested. They're probably really angry with the way the Big Ten worked out. And obviously, Kathy's incredible coach. They got great players. So we have to go out and play a great game. That said, I think our defense, it's not a game plan defense. It's a plug-and-play defense, with the style of, our zone. It's no secret that we play a zone. So, and then it's a matter of us, I think we'll get a little, they play man. So game plan's completely different, right? We played zone on both sides today. They'll be man versus our zone. So we're hoping they haven't seen a zone like ours, and we can kind of confuse them a little bit. And then we're going to have some of our players have the ability to run by players and make good decisions. Versus they have a very good defense. That's the difference I see in Maryland this year. And I think their defense is the best defense I think they've had in a while. And the goalie, she's always been good, but I think this year she's at another level. So, we got our work cut out for us. But again, this is why you play the sport, right? I mean, we talk about aspirations and winning national championships and doing those kind of things. Well, for us, when the bracket came out, you could complain about it, or you could say, hey, we get defending national champion 1, and then we get the best team to walk the planet in the last 10 years 2. I'm not sure you sign up for that, but you got it, so you deal with it, right? And you got to go out and play well against the best team.